Welcome to live office hours on May 19th, 2022. You are live with Doug and Quinston. For TimeBolt office hours, we're here to answer your questions, check your workflows, and just generally give some best practices advice so you get the most out of TimeBolt. And we're waiting for Tom to connect his iPhone. While we're waiting for that, Quinston, I've got just kind of a summary. We've got some different questions that we've received on support that I'd like to kind of run through with you and do a review on and see who joins us today that we can help out. I do know there's a gentleman by the name of Harry Joyner. It was pretty fun. He's a big e-commerce recruiter. I mean, like, you know, one of the biggest on LinkedIn. He's done it all without video. And he just started getting into video, saw a post on LinkedIn and pinged him about TimeBolt. And it's really exciting just how fast, you know, new people that are getting into editing can actually become editors without figuring out they have to wait to spend 2 weekends and are locked in a room vetting 30 different design editors. And then only to find out that they're going to spend hours pecking away at a keyboard to make video shorter. It's a fantastic market for us that we're working to break in. We've got Vinay. Vinay, I'm not sure if see if Vinay's connecting up. Well, Vinay, are you going to be able to join us? Well, until somebody joins us on the audio, we're going to go ahead and show.
Butcher some names.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to go learn how to pronounce names properly. But just a quick overview. It's pretty amazing when I talk about punch to like well-known to editors that have been doing this for years. I say punch and they're like, punch? And I'm like, no, punch, where you can punch in and punch out. Well, even though when people were recommending that feature to us, it's just not widely universally known what punch is, that it's actually an effect, right, that you apply to a visual effect that you apply to video. And it's just simply the act of being able to zoom in and zoom out from screen to screen, from jump cut to jump cut. It's going to hide the jump cuts. It's going to allow you to accentuate what's important on the file. Tom's definitely not going to tell me. But what we have here, let's say you wanted to zero in with punch. Let's say you wanted to zero in on this part of the screen, like whatever action is going on over here is important as you're changing some variables. You can do the clicky way, which is right click, specify the amount that you want to punch in, oh, another easy name, Christopher's, that's going to be, but use the P for punch, and then I can still right click and then select the zoom area. And as you can see, now you can highlight this as you're talking about it with a simple right click, no learning keyframes, perspectives. To make this part even faster, you can use the P key and it will cycle the zoom focus amount. I use option with the arrow keys, or because I'm on a Mac, if you're on a Windows, you're going to use Alt, and then you basically just use your arrow keys up, down, left, right to be able to highlight different parts of the screen. So you could like get your face, you could come over here and highlight in on that zoom. You can punch in even further. So really the important quick keys here are P and Alt or Option and the arrow keys. We do have a video about it uploaded to a blog post that gives the general directions, so I would invite everyone to take a look at that because it's an important feature. I usually have the settings all set up, but we did have a case. Christopher's, is there anything that we can help you with, or are you just kind of joining in?
Yeah, I'm just listening in for now.
Do you you want to tell us a little bit about, you know, if you got a second, tell us a little bit about how you make video, what you do?
Well, I mean, I'm a YouTube editor. I got TimeBolt, I think 2 days ago. It's worked out pretty well, mostly for me, but I encountered one issue that was pretty annoying. I wanted to see if there was time in this session to ask about it.
Sure.
But we can go over it like later if you have the time.
No, we're just kind of running through ad hoc what new features. We'd love to answer questions and check your workflows. There's nothing that should annoy you in TimeBolt, and if there is, Quinston is a master at fixing it.
I have a video file that has 2 audio tracks. I ran it through TimeBolt and everything seemed fine, like it detected everything fine. But when I exported it to XML and then tried to drag it into Premiere, the sequence that it created, for some reason, it duplicated the amount of audio tracks, and in the sequence itself, it still made them be just 2 audio tracks, but it was just two of the same one. So one of the audio tracks was lost.
Can we see the...
I have TimeBolt here. Seems to have like detected everything correctly. Exported to XML, but then when I drag the XML in, I'd open it here. You can see that's just, there's no actual like audio of the person talking.
Yeah, so what has happened here is that when you input the XML, right, there is no way at the moment for us to assign the correct audio track to the right track, like the correct audio track from one-to-one mapping. So what you can do in this situation is you can select one of the audio tracks. You can select like A1, for example. You can go in and drag select all of A1 and then right click on it and and then select clip attributes. Is that something called clip attributes? Audio channels, no, audio channel. Yeah, audio channels. And then you can assign which audio channels you want in that particular, like, so you can have L1R1, which is your first track, and L2R2, which is your second.
Okay, well that makes everything easier. Okay, cool.
This is an issue right now because there isn't a good way for XML to assign the correct audio tracks if there are multiple tracks. So, I mean, it's just something you have to do manually at the moment.
Yeah, so I was really just confused about it yesterday, and what I did was just do the audio channels on the source footage itself. So it was like before, and then I made like a whole macro to just go through all this and replace the audio. It was something. But yeah, this makes it much simpler.
Much easier. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's the ultimate issue.
Now, how could we have helped given you, let you know that was something that was important to do? How could we have given you that information ahead of time so you didn't get stuck? Was there some place that you would prefer it?
No, did you watch the tutorial before you did that?
I mean, I think I did, but like it just is, or at least I watched like some initial tutorial which just said that you can export it to XML for Premiere.
I think this part is at the end of the part at the last like 10-20 seconds. I think that's where it is. So maybe like that gets skipped over.
Okay, my bad then. Yeah. But
no, it's not your bad. It's our responsibility to make sure you know this information.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the first place I tried to go is just to like, or I think it was this book.
Yeah, see Video Hub, there's a link.
Trying to figure out whether there's like a frequently asked question about it or something.
Oh yeah, we could do that. An FAQ. Doug, can you write that down?
Yeah.
Make an FAQ for that.
Now, did you happen to go to the export page itself on the from the website? That was kind of how we're beginning. So if you go to the home page and then there's and you scroll down, there's your export options, and kind of the idea was to delineate. You scroll down. Premiere's kind of interesting because we've got a plugin for that, but then you can also use XML. And so if
does it come with the program? Or?
Yeah, you can download it from. Okay. Yeah, there's a link to download it.
And if you're doing just a single timeline like you're doing, I mean, XML works just as fine too. But yeah, this is like, if you scroll down, I'm not sure. I believe there's something about audio, but these are where this shows you how to use.
This is for the plugin. Yeah, this is for the plugin. In this section, we can write the FAQ.
Maybe I just.
Well, I mean, I think that should be okay. Writing an FAQ with a link to a video showing how to do it, like the last 20 seconds.
And Christopher's, while we have you on here, since you just started a couple days ago, can you open TimeBolt and that original file again? And so, just so I'd like to ask you some. Yeah, it looks like, let's check your settings. Let's see, you got perfect 35. Yes. Like.
Yeah, I just kept everything the same besides the detections, because there was some little bits and pieces that I still wanted to keep.
Okay.
Otherwise, it seems to work pretty much perfectly for me.
Nice.
And do you do any timeline editing? Do you cut any of your timeline in Premiere, or do you do it all in TimeBolt?
Oh, no, I'm not confident to use TimeBolt for that yet. It's more simpler for me to just do it all in Premiere.
Well, that's the thing. What we find, no one wants to learn kind of new things. There's a cost to it and all that stuff, right? But the quick keys that we have to edit a timeline in TimeBolt are faster than what you can do in Premiere, even if you've been editing in it for 10 years. By just knowing a couple key things, okay? You mind if I take you through those real quick?
Sure.
Just kind of expand your TimeBolt just so we got a larger screen view. Yeah, yes, perfect. Now, so the first thing that you're going to want to do, okay, see the preview playback rate up above the top, drop down. go ahead and put that at 1.5. Okay, so what that does is that sets your default preview. Okay, when I'm about to show you these hotkeys, so that you're always going at 1.5. Of course, you can get. I don't know with games if you can do faster or slower, but that's how you. Anytime you hit the space bar now, okay, the preview is going to go 1.5x. Now, as you're going through the space bar, you hit space bar, you can hit the L key and it'll go up to 2. Hit it again, it'll go to 3. Hit it again, it'll go up to 4. Right? So you can, if you just hit L.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so now if as you're going through, let's say that you hear something that you don't like, just hit the space bar. When you get when that marker gets over a place that you don't want, like let's just say it's a whole segment, like let's say the segment to the right you don't want. So just hit the space bar, and then as soon as it gets over that next green segment, you hit O.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? So now you can, if you don't like something, you just click the O key and it turns that off. It turns the clips on and off. So you can really just breeze through and cut up your timeline. Let's say you had a section let's say go to the left, right in the bigger green. Yeah. And let's say that you wanted to cut out that whole part, not the whole part, but just those two. Yeah. Right between those two, you hit the S key, and that stands for split. And so I would never use bar. You're a professional editor. The last thing you want to use is the bar to click things on and off. You literally just use O.
And then it skips ahead to the next clip already.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And you don't have to review anything. You don't have to wait on it to review. And so you're able to, you can learn that your left and right arrow keys will move the playhead. In micro increments. You can hold the left and right arrow keys, and then your up and down arrow keys move from clip to clip without turning them off. It's like O, but not turning them off.
Yeah. Some of this is definitely a bit faster than what I do in Premiere.
But really, kind of the whole goal is that you just end up in an NLE with a fully cut timeline, because not only is it just faster to do inside one program. That's where just learning a few of those quick keys really speeds up the workflow. And you don't just use TimeBolt for just removing dead air. Now, I don't know if you know this. I'd love to tell you about this feature because you're a gamer. We built this for you guys. Okay. So now you've got your cursor. You just put your cursor in the green, in the green. Now, let's say what's happening on the left hand, like in the video preview, let's say that what's important is that little area on the left, because you're filtering through some variables that you want to draw attention to. Right click, you can now select the zoom, you can hit the punch area, like do like 175 or the 75%. And now you can also hit right click again and select the zoom focus area, which would be to the left, the one on, yeah. So see, you can zoom in on different parts of the video, and this zoom amount and punch amount actually transfers XML into Premiere. So now you can add punchiness to your video. Now that's how you do it with a right click. Okay. You can also get out of that menu and simply hit P for punch. Okay. And it'll cycle your zoom. And now you can hit it looks like you're on a Windows. You'll hit Alt and then your arrow keys.
You have to punch in first.
Yeah, you have to punch in first. So yeah, just hit P. There you go. Now hit your Alt and your arrow keys. So now
center, right, left.
Yeah. So now,
pretty neat.
Now you're not having to, worry about keyframes and perspectives and all that stuff when you're going through. I know a punch.
And this is completely changeable in Premiere Pro, by the way. You can export this into XML and you can change it in Premiere.
Pretty sick, actually. I need to do that quite a bit for some of these videos, so I might actually make use of that.
Great. That's basically how you can edit your timeline super fast in TimeBolt. It's not just about cutting out the bad stuff. Now we're able to accentuate good material with punch, and so you're exporting already, and you learned how to get the audio tracks squared away inside Premiere. And we'll make sure to make an FAQ about that as well. The other thing that you can do So you can cut the bad, accentuate the good, and then you can also speed up silences as well. Okay, so let's say this is all really built for gaming community. You hit fast forward silences, all right? And so what you're going to do is, I will talk with Quinston. I don't ever see this effect bulk applied to video. It's just more of an a la carte. So put that fast forward silences up to like 90 seconds so it doesn't automatically, speed up anything over 5 seconds. And you can do the speed up rate of 4x or however fast it goes up to 4x. Now, what you do is you can go to, let's say, like when you're gaming and the process is important, but speaking isn't so important. Yeah. Now you can go up to the timeline. This is where you're gonna be able to click the bar above any one of these scenes, and it turns it orange. So now you won't be able to see it happen in preview, but when you export as well, the speed ramp is maintained through XML in the Premiere at 4x. So you're not losing anything visually, but they're just seeing it happen faster. And the audio is muted if you don't have is it background audio too muted?
Yeah, all audio is muted. Fast forward.
Yeah, definitely not like something you do often, but it's a good weapon in the arsenal.
Yeah, exactly.
So someone's microwave's done.
Yeah, but your audio levels look good. It looks like the defaults all work, and so you should be good to go.
This solved all the problems I had and gave me a lot of new knowledge. So thank you.
You bet. Thank you very much for joining us, Christopher's. And if you share this with your community, we make these tools for, gamers helped us build this tool. I mean, that's really, they were instrumental with XML and our export options and where we should focus. The problem is that once they find it, they typically don't tell anybody about it. And that's understandable. They're all competing. And how did you come to learn about TimeBolt?
Some of my editor friends kind of recommended it to me, or were talking about it. But it's like an option that you can do.
Great.
Because I tried. I don't know if I was doing something wrong, but I know there's like a free way to do it just through like Audition and something. But I tried that out, and it was like both a hassle to do, and like the results just weren't what I wanted. So I just thought I might as well try out TimeBolt.
Excellent. Well, after the show concludes, within a few days, we typically post to our YouTube channel these live office hours, and if you could share this with your community that recommended, or your friends that recommended TimeBolt, maybe you can help them out a little more, save some more time as well. Christopher, it was nice meeting you. Thank you very much for joining us, and we appreciate your business. And
thank you as well.
You bet. Well, Wally, are you there? Can you join us?
Yes, I'm still here, but I'm just watching.
You're just watching? Well, yeah. I mean, if we want to be able to provide the best value to you and show you what tool, something that's going to be helpful to you and save you some time. Can you give us a little idea about how you found TimeBolt, what type of video you make?
You can say I'm a small YouTuber, but so far TimeBolt has, for me personally, has improved my workflow, and that's just especially with the auto silence detection features and fast forwarding features, so I can set up certain parts of my gameplay video. I make a YouTube channel about video gameplay. Video gaming and gaming tutorials.
Well, you're the guy I want to talk to. I just asked her.
Yeah, you're the target customer.
And you should just raise your hand or something, or throwing a GIF up like
target customer.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm looking for somebody that talks about video gaming and how to make gaming.
What's your channel like? Can you link it? We'll just check it out.
We'll subscribe. You'll get 2 new subscribers.
Yes, I will subscribe.
It's just started.
All right.
But I'm not doing this full time.
Okay.
This is actually not my primary job, but I'm using TimeBolt to save a lot of time. So I want to keep doing this, whether even if the subscriber numbers is still a very few for me, but
there's certainly a niche for it. I don't think there's anyone out there like there's Alpha Gaming. Those guys are so tied into OBS though. I mean that's pretty much strictly what he promotes. But so do you know about were you around to kind of hear about our feature for Punch?
I just don't use the feature for Punch because I still do the final editing on forget the
With
Resolve,
DaVinci, Premiere,
DaVinci Resolve.
Resolve?
DaVinci. Yeah.
DaVinci Resolve. I'm still doing this the final editing on. Just like I said, this software has given me a lot of time. When before I need around of 3 hours stop for my videos. Now I can just leave TimeBolt doing the detection work, and then I
Yeah.
can just put the background music, DaVinci Resolve. So my editing time per video around 15 now around 15 and 30 minutes.
50. What? Wait, how much percentage is that?
It's I don't do a lot of the things I don't do a lot of the editings compared to other gaming channel because I focus on gameplay series. I don't think necessary, but your software personally for me is very helpful.
It's like a 90% decrease in time.
Time spent. Yeah, I'm trying to. So you use Resolve just to add the background music. This background music. So this may not be applicable to you, but I mean I think it is maybe. So you can, if you have a background audio track that you want to add in, that's just kind of a blanket loop, right? It could be as long or not as long, but you just basically select your audio file, put it to about 10%, 10 to 20% of the volume of your mic, and after your cuts are made, TimeBolt will go in and add the background audio to your track. So, I mean, if you're okay with the rendering quality within TimeBolt, you wouldn't even really have to use Resolve if you didn't want to. Specifically, like if you're doing punch in and punch out and Resolve, like it's all about how many clicks, right? How many, it comes down to click time. How many clicks does it take to get to the effect that you're wanting to? And with TimeBolt, we've limited the clicks to a keystroke, EPP, right? Like you go zoom in, they zoom them out by just clicking the P. And then, are you on a Mac or PC?
I'm on.
Okay, well then you would hit Alt, the Alt button, and then your arrow keys. So see how I can zoom around and change the focus area of the zoom along with P, right? You don't see me like pulling keyframes and changing perspectives and all that stuff. I mean, it's just all straight up keyboard work here that challenge anyone to a speed test when it comes to how quick you could do punch. So you can see that it's possible to even speed up your workflows even further if you'd like to explore the P key and the Alt arrow keys.
Okay, but I have one question. When I open my TimeBolt notification about a new update software, but I cannot find the right menu. So,
So what happens is that when you start TimeBolt, right, when the notification shows up, the update is downloaded in the background. So if you just leave TimeBolt open for a while, it will just download it and automatically install it. Just leave it open for a bit.
After you hit a button?
Yeah, just leave it open for like 10 minutes and it'll download.
I've just know.
Now there is a button though when it comes. I don't have a piece.
The button comes after the downloading has finished. So it takes about 10 minutes to download, and then once it's finished, it'll just automatically update with the button.
And so if he's not,
Excellent, thank you.
if he's not seeing that right now, like let's say that's not
No,
working.
it's just not open for a while. Right? It needs to be open for at least. I mean, it depends on the internet connection, how fast your internet is. Like if your internet is super fast, it'll just be downloaded very quickly. It depends on how fast your internet. But usually it takes about, if it's really fast, it takes 5 minutes. If it's really slow, it takes 10 to 15 minutes. But
And Wally, how do you use speed up silences? You had mentioned. Do you use speed up silences? You had mentioned it before.
So I set my first, of course, I select the video files, and then I usually set the skip silent detection under 0.2 seconds.
Wow.
And then I speed up video more than which is more than 0.725 second, and then I just remove silence part longer than 0.5.
Yes.
So it's save a lot of duration of a video, makes it more it save a lot of time, of course, for my viewers.
Yeah, this piece right here, I've seen you Premiere guys go down to like 0.2, and I just don't recommend that. And I've got on some live Zoom calls we can play in a second, Quinson, where they're like, hey, look, my audio's out of sync. I import it and it's all jacked up. And I know that you're supposed to import one timeline at a time. They kind of go through. And then when you see their settings, okay, their settings are way different than what we recommend. I mean, like this was like 0.15. We had left padding at like 0.0082 and the right padding at like 0.0081. You know, like they were the settings. You can't. You simply this right here. The default settings should work. And when you're looking at the timeline, I think people mistake that these settings down here are what need to change as opposed to this, right? And this. Especially if you render in TimeBolt, we do not recommend doing anything over 0.5 because it simply creates too many cuts, right? I mean, and then it creates too many cuts and it causes problems with the detection further on down the line. You've got guys in Premiere that just import all that into Premiere until they understand, oh, wait, if I get the settings right and I know these quick keys, I can edit even faster than I can inside Premiere. So, you know, that's really the message that we want to get out there is just how important this filter below setting is. So, for example, like right here, it's cutting. So it's cutting off a little audio. So you're going to increase this to capture more audio and decrease it to capture less. So like if I take this up to -38, see how that piece now is no longer captured? What people, that little tick. So this is like the perfect, as you can see, there is no audio captured in the red. And what I didn't do, I didn't change these. What people would see is they'll be like, they have it on -35. They got some pieces of audio that are still being clipped in. Granted, this is an hour-long video, right? That's how fast that goes. What they'll do is they'll say, where'd that piece go?
It's on the left.
There it is. And they'll say, okay, well, that happens on the left, right? So I'll increase this to 0.15. And you'll see that it said the output is shorter than, should have double checked that. Now all you end up doing is decreasing the total amount of cuts. And now you have so much left padding that it's not like jump cutting to your next phrase, right? There's still some room there. So we just recommend stay with these recommended default settings here, and you're to focus on getting your audio correct using the filter below settings.
It's over there on the left. Yeah, it's on the right now. It's on the right. See that big red thing? Yeah, over there.
Yeah, see, like right here, you still have, see, there's some start of a word again. So increase to capture more audio, decrease to capture less. So we're going to increase to -38, and those little anomalies should be gone. And certainly with the left padding, you can be much more aggressive at 0.01 because it's the start of words versus doing it at and the right padding at 0.15. If you go anything less than 0.15, we can't guarantee that you're not going to cut off a long S or P sound. That's kind of the point of the left and right padding.
Oh, so did you say that when settings silence detection around seconds, some of them experience the out of sync audio?
There are too many cuts are formed.
Are you talking about right here? Remove silences longer than?
No. Ignore the detection shorter than.
Ignore detection. You want to explain that one, Quinton?
It doesn't cause out of sync. It's just what happens is there are too many cuts. That's what happens when the silence detection is less than, like the remove silence is longer than if you make it 0.2. That's like where a lot of cuts are created which are not necessary. But yeah, like the ignore detections part has no effect in at least my understanding. That is just fine.
See, like, so if I did ignore detect at 0.2, I mean, you know, this little piece and like this little piece, like removing this amount right here, it's typically unnecessary, just results in too many tiny little jump cuts. So, and it affects rendering speed and all that kind of stuff. But at 0.5, you really see a much cleaner timeline. And again, like since you're editing your timeline in TimeBolt, what I recommend and what I talked to Krista about is that you basically I set this back at 1.5, and so when I hit spacebar,
let's do a little bit of exploring.
It always.
Oh, actually, before I go,
it always comes back to it. the default speed preview speed is 1.5.
I'm gonna make a
That way when I hit L
damn beacon. We know how that before.
and then I hit spacebar again, it goes back
Beacon is
to
made.
1.5. You know about the O key, Wally? Wally, do you know about the O key? I think we may.
Okay, what, pardon?
So with like to turn scenes on and off, you shouldn't have to edit any, like cut any time out in Resolve, okay? Because we do have quick keys that make it faster to do inside TimeBolt right at one thing. So you're exporting a fully cut timeline into Resolve if that's what you're planning on doing.
Deal.
Right. So if you want to turn scenes off, let's say I didn't want this whole scene, you just hit O, the O key, and I can bulk remove scenes, right? And I can skip scenes using the up and down arrow keys. This is just the fastest way to so if you got a retake or a mistake or something, you just start re-talking as this thing's blowing through like at 1.5.
Peeper, stop. Would you stop?
I don't want that.
And do I have batteries?
I don't want that.
I don't have batteries. Nice. Good.
I don't have to go here and then go click and click, right?
I don't have batteries.
I mean I hate learning quick keys, but these are so simple, right? They're it's just kind of like learn to edit email.
I may have one more problems though. This is actually not very bothering for me. I noticed that he used PC for TimeBolt, and ever since I installed TimeBolt and using it, if I do the editing for long videos duration, just say it's 50 minutes long, the preview won't just show up. The preview video won't just show up.
Yeah,
Although
but
this is not a problem for me, since I'm just doing detection features on TimeBolt and then editing it on Resolve. But I just want to know what may causes this.
Yeah, so what happens is sometimes you have a video that's either H.265, HEVC, encoded, that is not supported in the current version of TimeBolt for preview. Only the preview, the output works, the preview doesn't work. And if you have audio that's recorded in PCM format, which is a different encoding, then the preview won't show up. So these are two situations where the preview won't show up. Either there's PCM audio or there is HEVC, which is the encoding of the video. So in these two situations, the preview won't show up.
So may I ask how to change the condition for the video?
There's only one solution at the moment, and that is to re-encode your video with something like Handbrake or something like FFmpeg. So if you re-encode the video into MP4 and AAC format audio, then the preview will show up. It's just that right now the HEVC file formats for preview are not supported.
That's more. Sorry, right. Wally, how are you capturing? How are you capturing?
I'm capturing using Gamecaster.
Okay, so if you want to capture so you need to capture with like H.264 audio, H.264 video, and AAC audio. So AAC codec for the audio and MP4 codec, H.264 codec for the video, and then both the audio, then the preview.
AAC codec for the audio, and then for the video.
H.264.
Now, when we're throwing this out to you, do you believe you're already capturing? Sounds like something like Gamecaster would come out with something pretty standard like that. It'd be interesting to see if there's some. If it's rendered, if it's captured in Gamecaster, to throw in some special codec at it to see if that's, a value we can allow in FFmpeg. Can you tell us like what your video file is made of? Like what the properties are?
The properties. Okay. I don't think I can see the properties because when I click right click and then properties, the details just showing blank, frame width, frame height, data rate, total bit rate, frame rate. There is no property.
Can you send? How big is the file?
Okay. The file is.
Or do you have a smaller file which you can send me?
Just anything small that's not showing up on your preview.
Yeah, you can send it through VD transfer.
I can send you the big files if you.
Yeah, sure. You can send
want
that.
to analyze it. That's
sure.
That's.
It doesn't. I guess it doesn't need to be a. This is what I'm saying. It doesn't need to be a big file. It just needs to be a file that's not working. Like it could be a 30-second file, right? If you're putting it into TimeBolt and the preview's not coming up, if you send us that 30-second file, it's going to be the same as sending us one long file. Is that correct, Quinston?
Yeah, you can do one thing. Like what you can do is you can create a support ticket. So if you go to like Zendesk, so there is, you can go to timebolt.com/.
Okay, I will do that.
Yeah, so you can create a support ticket there, and in the support ticket you can add so in that, right, you can add the link of where you have the file stored. So it could be either a WeTransfer file or a Google Drive link or whatever it is. Just make sure that it's like open based on the link. So if anybody who has the link can access, then I can take a look at it and see if there's anything specific about that file that is not making the preview.
All right, Wally. Well, can we answer any more questions for you? It sounds like you're going to send us a support ticket. We'll get the file, see if we can get it working in preview for you, and we've shown you how to go through the quick keys and how to edit your timeline in TimeBolt, and certainly we appreciate your business and wish you the best of luck with your channel and here to support you. He's asked a few times about if we've had a chance to look at the multicam. I don't think we have had time to do that. We've been focused on Resolve, right? Trying to figure out how to get those hot link.
I'll have to take a look at them. I haven't.
Okay. Yeah, he's just double checking on that. Kind of our priority right now is getting Resolve to link up. We've had a couple questions about that with the tracks linking up. Well, I don't have anything. We'll connect up.
I did take a look at the Resolve. So what I did a few tests. I exported some XML files from Resolve. So I went into Resolve itself, had the video laid out, and the audio and the video were linked. I exported that same project in DaVinci Resolve. I exported in XML while the video and audio were linked, and then I created a new project and then re-imported this project via XML into DaVinci. The same project was exported from DaVinci Resolve and then re-imported back in. And when I re-imported them, the audio and the video were not linked. I don't know if this is a TimeBolt problem, but it's a problem at all. Like, it just seems like even when you like import XML files directly from Resolve, the ones you have exported from Resolve, they still don't retain the link.
Oh, so they don't relink at all, no matter if it's a time.
No, exactly. Yeah, so I'm not sure because I haven't had a chance to test it from Premiere Pro, but if you export XML, so let's say this is a file, right? I make a few cuts and in this file, and then if you see right now, these are linked, right? So the audio and the video are linked. So now if I go in and like export this timeline as like an XML file, let's say FCP XML, the regular XML, which is what was imported, and I say for the desktop, save it. So now it's saved as an XML file, right? So I'll just like, and then I'll re-import the same XML files. Right click, timelines, import the timeline. It automatically imports. This time we will automatically import. Now if you see, so I don't know if this is like a reading XML issue from DaVinci Resolve or like there is some other way to do that. I'm just like confused.
And so and when they're not linked, what is the issue that our customers are experiencing now that they're not?
So when somebody wants to make a big change to this, like what they'll have to do is like, let's say somebody wants to like shorten this, right? So when it's linked, I think it's called group. I don't really know how to use it. There is like, so for example, when they're linked together, right, you can pull this and then both those clips will be pulled together is what the
okay
idea is. And there are also some other things, like if you have to delete a clip, like you have to select both like this, like you drag it instead of just like doing a single clip. Yeah, so that's the issue.
And there's no like there's no way to just bulk select that and then just say link up.
No, there's not. Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Like,
okay.
But it seems like it's a reading XML thing because we just saw, right? You exported the same thing which was linked from DaVinci and re-imported the same XML, and it doesn't link both. I don't know how to fix it.
That's smart. No, that's a good way to point out what's possible on our end and what's possible on Resolve's end. So I'll send this to our awesome contact at Support Center and see if we can. Excellent. Well, that's the conclusion. If we don't have anything else, that's the conclusion of live office hours on Thursday, May 19th, 2022. Thank you for joining us, everyone who came. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you like TimeBolt, subscribe to us, get notified when we push video, which is not very often, so get your notifications. But it's great having you all here today, and that's the end of it. We're out of time.
We're out of time.
And we're out of time. Yep.
We're out of time.
We're out of time. See you, brother.